Network.
You wanted the best. You got the best.
Spinz Vinyl, the vinyl leader.
What is shaking, everybody? Happy Friday. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's Blue Note Fridays, baby. We're going to get into some jazz today. We're going to get into some Blue Notes today. We're going to take you right up to the jazz bums, as we always do on a Friday, which actually I have to set that up. So I promise before the end of the show that will happen. Today's going to be fun. Got a Blue Note email today. They just want to remind you that, they have some product out there that you might want to pick up. So I want to go over that a little bit. And we'll go over some fun stuff. I'm going to show some things. I got some records here. And at the end, I'm going to share a link and we'll play some games. We'll do a little Would You Rather Blue Note edition at the end. So, and then one I think kind of fun announcement too. One kind of fun announcement coming up. So that'd be cool. Let me just, since I actually did an interview like 2 hours ago. So the only thing I didn't do, I think we're good here. I'm actually going to play a little music too today. For those that are like, man, we just wish we could hear some samples. We're going to get into some samples. We're going to hope that we don't get ripped down by YouTube, but we'll see. Cause there's some cool stuff that I want to, one new record that Blue Note, 2025, issued new music, new jazz music, which actually is pretty fire. So I want to play a little bit of that for you guys. So yeah, some announcements. We're going to touch on Blue Note. Again, we're going to drop you off in jazz bum land. The reason I'm stuttering is I need to get that part set up. I forgot to do that before the show. So hang on one second. Oh. How's everyone doing? Happy Friday. Vinyl and Kicks. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Yes, here to talk some jazz. Good stuff. Let me just make it the connection so that way I get you guys over to the jazz bumps at the end of all this. There we go. Boom. 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 Couple more clicks. There we go. And save, and we're good. Okay, cool. So yeah, at the end of the show, as soon as I sign off, you guys will go directly to the Jazz Bums channel, so you don't have to worry about missing that. So yeah, I'm going to share a link today. We're going to get into a little bit of Would You Rather Blue Note edition. So that'll be cool, I think. And then yeah, I have some other announcements. So let's just get straight to, obviously, the one big announcement most people know already is I am going live daily. So I 8 p.m. Central, Monday through Thursday, 6 p.m. Central on Fridays, just like today. We take you right into the Jazz Bums on Friday. But some things I kind of wanted to share, some things that kind of came to my attention recently. One is this station, WKCR, out in New York, I believe. 89.9, yes, FM in New York. Jazz station, really cool. Kind of old, like the olden days, right? Learn about some jazz music, get introduced to maybe some new music that you haven't heard before, in the old-fashioned way, the way that we used to do it. This came to my attention because of Chris from the What Kim Brown Jazz Vinyl channel. He actually appeared on here and spun some records and stuff like that. So I had a chance to kind of listen to it. It's really cool. It's really cool. In fact, let's peek in right now. Will you guys tell me, Vinyl and Kicks, if you're still there, will you just tell me if you can hear this? Because I would like to try to play some music today. So let me know if you guys are out there. Let me know. Did you guys hear that? If you did, then I know the technologies are working, and we'll be able to bring you guys some tunes today. Anyway, so WKCR, really cool. Sun Ra visits WKCR. They had this morning. They had this out to lunch playlist. So if you look at the recent playlist, you can click on it, and they show you the stuff that they were spinning and stuff. So that's cool. That's cool. The other one's WPKN, and this one came to my attention through Chris, the Groove Seeker. You guys know him as the Groove Seeker on every other Thursday. He's on Surface Noise. Mondays, I do a show with him called Your Brain on Vinyl. And the 4th and 5th Fridays of every month, so I guess that's today, there's his friend broadcast, and they do some cool stuff. I had a chance to check it out last month, and they play jazz. He plays jazz. He also plays just stuff you would not normally hear, like rock bands kind of performing some jazz stuff and everything. And it's actually really, really cool. It's going to be some more unusual things. Again, another great way to maybe pick up on some music that you wouldn't normally hear. The big one that I'm excited about, though, WFMU 90.1, 91.9 out of New York. They also, most people will know this if you're a vinyl person, that they do a record show. And this year it's November 8th and 9th. That's Saturday and Sunday. And I will be there. I'm so stoked. I've never been to New York. So by virtue of that fact, I've never been to WFMU either. But this is going to be cool. So it's going to be, as far as I know, at a minimum, it's going to be myself. It's going to be Chris, Arnaldo from Surface Noise, and Jason Rojas from Surface Noise. We have 2 tables. And we're going to be there representing you guys, representing the vinyl community, and maybe selling some records and stuff like that. But there's a lot still to come on that. So I basically right now we're like 8 months out, something like that. So all I can say is I'll be there. But there's some other really fun stuff. So we'll kind of trickle that information out as we go along. So, I mean, if you guys are in New York, if you guys are planning to go to WFMU, come say hi. Come say. You won't be able to miss us. We'll be hopefully making a presence while we're there. So, but that would be fun. It'd be fun to say hey to you guys and stuff. So more to come on that. In fact, here's my countdown. I'm so excited for it. 252 days to go until November 8th for WFMU. But hey, man, we're counting it down. That's going to be fun. All right. So a couple of, minor announcements. These are things we already knew about, but of course, if you're subscribed to the email list over at Blue Note, then you'll know that they just released last week Sonny Rollins Volume 1, Dexter Gordon, Our Man in Paris, which is a great record. Sonny Rollins, I love Sonny Rollins Volume 1. I'm more of a Volume 2 guy. I'm not going to get too deep into this list. Felipe and I talked about it on the channel a couple weeks ago. So if you want to see that, he actually gets into every title on here and then selects his favorite one. So that's kind of a cool video. So you can see that roughly 2 weeks ago. Go to the live tab and scroll down. You'll see Felipe in the thumbnail from the Jazz Bums. And then in about 3 weeks, we got Horace Silver Serenade to a Soul Sister. Great record. 2 1968 records, in fact. And then Lou Donaldson Say It Loud. So those are coming out soon. So classic series for those that don't know, a little visual aid. Here's a great one right here. Point of Departure. I know I'm very small in the corner there, but maybe you guys will recognize that. This got a classic series release. Let me just do this if I'm going to be showing this. Yeah, this got a classic series release. It's got Eric Dolphy on it. I mean, Richard Davis, Joe Henderson, Anthony Williams on drums. I mean, this is a fantastic record. But yeah, so there's classic series for those that, sometimes we get people in here that aren't really familiar too much with this stuff. So, but there is the classic vinyl series label. And that's how the hype sticker. That's how and these things are high quality, I say. I mean, it's the best bargain in town, man. The best 30, 25, 20 bucks, depending on if you catch Amazon on the right day. In vinyl, I think, and in jazz. And they hold up well. So, and then Tone Poet, of course, we've got Dizzy Reese came out this month, Blues and Trinity, Horace Parlan Up and Down. 2 great ones coming out in March in about a week. And I would seriously consider checking these out. Curtis Amy and Frank Butler, Groove and Blue. That is was originally a Pacific Jazz record. So it might be one that not a lot of people have heard of. In fact, this is what it looks like. This is a great record, man. I'm stoked for this one, and I don't have a copy, so I'm probably going to pick that up. And then they're also doing Hank Mobley's 3rd Season. So that's a nice little record there too. Did I have that one on here? Yeah, so here's what that looks like. You guys recognize that? In fact, I think this got a later reissue. I think this cover, I don't think this was released for a while. This is one of those blue notes that, they'd recorded and just never issued it, if I remember correctly. And so, but it has a cool cover on it. And it's Hank Mobley. And not, I don't have to have all the Hank Mobley, but his best stuff I really like. So that's that. And then, so part of the discussion too, I want to get into and ask you guys some questions. And part of our game, which is coming up, guys, don't go anywhere, because for the end of the show, the last, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes of the show, and I'll just be on for an hour today before the Jazz Bums. We'll play a little game. I'm going to give you guys the link, and we'll do a little Would You Rather. And one of the questions I'll hint at has to do with this series. And so this is the Music Matters series. And these are going to be, they do both 33 and 45 RPMs. I'm going to show some of the 45 RPMs. Here's Roll Call. That's Hank Mobley with Art Blakey, Freddie Hubbard, Wynton Kelly, Paul Chambers. These are double LP 45 RPM records, and they're considered premium pressings, right? So here's Eric Dolphy, Out to Lunch. Nice little Music Matters 45 RPM on that. So, depending on your opinion on the 45 RPM products, and, they're supposed to be, more sound coming through for you and stuff like that. You get more dynamics, and it's just a higher fidelity experience overall. Of course, you have to flip the record over 3 times, not just once. But those are both Music Matters. And part of the reason I want to get into this again is because part of the question is, we got the classic series and the Tone Poet series, which I showed and most people are familiar with, and they've both been around. Classic series is an extension of other series. So this is like the 3rd iteration or so. That's been out for a while. Tone Poet, came out a few years ago. Classic series, basically Joe Harley has a hand in selecting the titles on those, Music Matter series. And then the engineer is going to be Kevin Gray on these. And here's some of the titles. So here's Roll Call, which I showed. But a lot of the stuff is out of print, and a lot of it's pricey. So, like, for example, if you want a Magnificent Thad Jones, 45 RPM, $130. It is in stock, though. A Destination Out, Jackie McLean, great one with Bobby Hutcherson, $120. But a lot of the stuff you're going to see out of print on, right? Jackie McLean. This is a great One Step Beyond with Bobby Hutcherson. It's out of stock. Lots of Jazz Messenger stuff. So these are a premium product, and they're pricey. And a lot of these ones that are out of stock and have been out of stock for a while are going to command upwards of hundreds of dollars. The one that I don't have, the one that probably the only one would ever consider buying again is like $300 now in the secondary market. But yeah, Horace Silver and the Jazz Messengers. But part of my question is, this exclusive Music Matters series. Well, I mean, we're getting Tone Poet and we're getting Classic every year, right? We're getting 24 titles each every year on those 2 series. And there's still a lot of these Music Matters that we have not seen yet. So, do we need to see these? I think we do. We need to get these on affordable wax, right? Because these are some great titles. A lot of this Lee Morgan stuff. In fact, I have a little list here. I think this list is correct. I was in a pinch when I put it together, but like Horace Silver, Stylings of Silver, not available, has not gotten either a Classic series or a Tone Poet reissue. Same for Lee Morgan, Procrastinator. Same for a bunch of the Art Blakey stuff. Some of the stuff is coming out this year. The big one for me, it's coming out December. It's getting a Classic series reissue finally. Let me find it on here. And it's the one I've said that, man, we need a reissue of this. And they finally listened. They finally heard my plea. Is oh, where are you? Here we go. Johnny Griffin, A Blowin' Session. So this is in stock, 45 RPM, $75. Not bad, actually. Not bad if you want to pick that up. But this is getting a Classic series. We have to wait till December, unfortunately. That is a fantastic record. So this is an example of, yes, they're finally reissuing this on a Classic series, which I think is what we want. We want to start seeing these in more affordable products. So yeah, this is a great one. John Coltrane, Hank Mobley, and Johnny Griffin, all on a tenor, I believe. So this is fantastic. But let's see, a Perfect Prescription Classic and TP are a must buy if you like jazz. Absolutely. I mean, it's the best deal in town, and you know, it's so nice that they're doing this because 5 years ago, we didn't have a lot of access to nice pressings that were affordable. And so it's really cool that they're doing this. I say 5 years ago, well, we did have this. We had Music Matters, but as you can see, these are kind of going to be, these are going to be, I don't want to say out of reach for a lot of people, but I'm not, excited about plopping down $125 a title. You know what I mean? I think this one got a classic series, which is great. So some of these have been getting their reissues, which is great. Out to Lunch, $125 in stock. A great sounding record, not going to lie, but the classic series is very respectable. It's more than respectable. I think it's really all you need in some cases. Oh, you're not seeing my screen. I've been sitting here referring to this. Sorry about that. Out to Lunch. There it is. So Out to Lunch is $125, but we got a classic series reissue of that. So that's good news. So while I was hiding my screen from you, which one was I showing? It was the right here. Johnny Griffin, A Blowin' Session, classic record coming out in December on the classic series. So I think a lot of people are excited for that. But yeah, we need to see some of this Herbie stuff come out, right? It's all out of print. Joe Henderson, I think we got this one, if I'm not mistaken. But a lot of this we haven't seen yet on Tone Poet or Classic Series. So Point of Departure, I showed, got a classic series. So anyway, that was kind of my point with this. Is these are great records, and in fact, for some of these, the $75 price tag is not terrible, because a lot of these, like I said, are upward of higher than $100, and particularly these ones out of print. So if you were to go check these out on Discogs, some of these command a lot of money. So my plea is let's keep moving these into the the affordable market with the classic series and the Tone Poets, because these are some great titles. The next 111, happy to be a tier 1 member for Blue Note. Nice. Yeah, Tone Poets Society. If you guys aren't aware, I did talk about it. But Tone Poets Society. So this is a subscription service. They have a few different tiers. You buy your if you pay for everything in advance, you save it's a nice little chunk of change that you save. Like if you're someone that's going to buy these, do that. If you can afford it. And I think that's what Chris does, my partner on Mondays. And you're going to get your records like a week early. You're going to save money on each title. You're going to get free shipping. I mean, there really is a value there. And when I see these subscription services, I know they're not always popular, but I respect what the Tone Poet Society is doing. I'm not a member, but I think it's a great great way to save some money for people that are going to buy these records anyway. And they also have a quarterly special release that they do that is only available to Tone Poet Society members. So yeah, that's great. To Blandia, I'd be more on board the classic series if they weren't pressed at optimal. I'd rather pay the freight for the MMJ than Kids Too Many Frongs. Yeah, I get it. I haven't really had I've never listened to a classic record, and I don't have them all, but I have a bunch of them where I said, I was disappointed. Of course, keep in mind, I'm not comparing it to anything else, but I mean, I feel like they sound pretty good. But that's one of the things I want to get into. So stick around. I know we got a lot of people jumping in now, so stick around because not only am I going to take you straight into the jazz bums at the end of the show, you won't have to lift a finger. I'm just going to hit the button to end the stream, and you guys will be on the Jazz Bums channel while they do their live stream. But also, we're going to do a little game. And some of the things you're talking about, Tublandia, I only have a few questions. I didn't have a ton of time, but it is stuff like that. It's a would you rather. And so you can kind of imagine where that might go here. But yeah, I hear you. Groove Seeker in the house. Plus, you get a ton of Blue Note points. I've gotten a few free classic records because of the rewards. That's cool. I did not know that. I did not know that. And then Nick says, most of the classics I already have on Music Matters. Wow. That's clutch. I mean, if you have those Music Matters, they're beautiful. They are beautiful. Vinyl and Kicks. I wish Verb by Request was not being pressed at TMR. Those titles deserve so much more. Wow, you guys are bringing up a lot of stuff that we might see a little later. These audiophile pressing plants have their QC issues also. And man, that's been coming up a lot lately because you guys know, I mean, you guys are bringing it all up right here. I mean, I follow the Blue Note account over on Facebook, and there's a lot of people that are, there's some controversy in the VC with QC issues and stuff like that. I know a lot of people don't want to talk about it. I don't have a horse in the race at this point. So it's kind of like, hey, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, people are having to return records left and right. I'm sure Groove Seeker will attest to that. You get this stuff, and especially the high end ones you're talking about, Vinyl and Kicks, where I'm preaching to the choir here, I know, but it's sort of like, if you're gonna say you have a premium product and that's why we're able to charge you extra because you're getting a fantastic jacket, you're getting all analog pressing. This is beautiful 180 gram, et cetera, as your selling points, then it better arrive that way, right? I don't want to have to return it once or twice to get that product. So definitely some work to be done. Groove Seeker says he's need replacements for 5/6 of the tone poets so far. Wow. Oh yeah, because you got your March record, I guess, huh? Your March records would have just come, I guess. Wow. Well, there you go, guys. So the good, the bad, and the ugly. we all know the plight of the vinyl record collector, right? Especially with this new stuff, and we could go on for hours about, UHQRs and they're not picking on any of these things, but I mean, these are all premium products, right? MoFis and all of this stuff. And so when you get that stuff, and you're already shelling out big bucks, you've been promised you're going to get a premium product and you don't get that. It's frustrating. It is. And it's more work. Groove Seeker's got to send these things back, right? And then hope that the next ones come in good condition. Vinyl and Kicks, listen to my DMX LP from VMP that I just bought. QC issue, so disappointing. Is this a new thing? That's what because look, I buy used records. I do buy new ones. I just showed some, Tone Poets and Classic Series. That's going to be mostly when I'm buying new records, it's going to be mostly that kind of thing with few exceptions. So it's not a big sample size. I feel pretty fortunate. I haven't had a lot of QC issues. There's been some. But since I buy a lot of used records, I don't know if I see a lot of if I don't see a lot of these issues now, obviously, that you guys are talking about, but also, is this new in the community? Like, is this a product of the fact that interest in vinyl spiked so quickly? Especially say during the pandemic, we could even say since Record Store Day started, wherever you want to draw that line in the sand. And we know there wasn't a lot of resources or infrastructure to support that. Is that part of the problem? And maybe we didn't see as many QC issues in the 80s or the 70s or the 60s as we're seeing now. I don't know, but we definitely see them. Lots of complaints. All right, so we went a little bit over the part of our 45 RPMs. Wow, if you have these and you don't need to pick them up on Classic or Tone Poet, more power to you. The best, I think this has turned out to be the best bargain in jazz. If you were there for these when they were like $50 a piece and you got yourself a nice little collection of Music Matters on 45 RPM, you're sitting pretty because these things have become scarce and pricey. But it's nice to see they're reissuing these. Like I said, Out to Lunch got a classic. Johnny Griffin's getting a classic. We need more. But there's two ways to go with it, right? And again, we'll get into some of this later, but which direction would you, here's a question. I mean, which direction would you guys go? Do you want to see these records that are out of print, upwards of, $75 at a minimum, over $100 for many, if they're available? would you rather see these come to the Tone Poet series and the Classic series like they're doing now? They're trickling in. Or would you rather see them reissue these at just a, I don't want to say the original price point, but let's just say, would you rather see all these come back in print at a fair price point, maybe $60, something like that? If that makes sense. In other words, make all these Blue Note titles available, but do we want to see them in a $30 classic, or would you pay more for these double 45 RPMs, which are nice? I got to admit, they are nice. I have a couple. Yeah, someone mentioned Verve by request. And again, you know, I don't know. It's hard to single out anybody for QC issues because they all have them, at least from, you know, the data that I've seen and people talking about this stuff. But I mean, here's some of this. Another great price point. I mean, you look at these $30 a piece. You know, I have mine. I have a Tav the El Dowd Alice Coltrane. It's great that they're reissuing this stuff, right? We're getting some Alice Coltrane. We're getting some Pharoah Sanders and stuff like that. The stuff has been out of print for far too long. So Impulse is included in these too, obviously. So Verve and Impulse, great to see these. Again, you know, notwithstanding quality control issues, it's nice that they're reissuing these titles, these very scarce titles for the most part, and just making them way more available. To quote Groove Seeker, it's, you know, it's just, and I agree 100%. It's just great to get these things, put them in print any way you have to, get them into the hands of the people so they can hear them, and you're not feeling like you have to go out and spend $200-300 on an original. In some cases, that's the only other option. Like in Alice Coltrane's case and stuff like that. So nice that they are doing these. So, you know, Herbie and stuff, even Dizzy getting some love. You know, Dizzy's my guy. So nice to see that he's getting some love too. But so yeah, there you go. I mean, look, these are $30 a pop acoustic sounds. It's a great bargain. You know, and look, as much as I hate to say, and I know it's QC issues they suck, plain and simple. So at least if they make the return easy, you know, as painless as possible, they're not fighting you on it. You know, hopefully that's the case. You know, Amazon, you know, I've kind of propped up Amazon a little bit, because not only are you going to get great deals when the stuff goes on sale, but their return policy is a no-brainer. Like they just take them back. You know, it's not a problem. So hopefully these other distributors are following suit and making it easy for us to return these records, you know, when they don't come like they should. Tublandia, Magic of Juju has needed a repress for a minute. Absolutely. What last time we saw Juju, I think, was 75th anniversary, if I'm not mistaken. I have mine. Fortunately, mine sounds good. I have a UK press. But a lot of people are mad at that, the last reissue that it got. So it's like, okay, not only do we need one, we need a quality one. Nothing worse than they reissue these things and then they don't sound good. And we know that's a whole nother discussion, right? That not even a QC issue, but just a mastering issue or whatever it is. And it's like, man, we've been waiting for this for so long. A perfect example is like a let's see. Here we go. Ahmad Jamal, The Awakening, right? I mean, this is one that got a reissue, I think, a couple of years back. People were waiting for this, man. They were lined up. They couldn't wait for this to come out. Mine sounds good, but 50%, I think, if you went to Discogs, you see probably 50% of people saying this thing's garbage. And it's a disappointment. You know, it's like, man, you know, like you said, some of these reissues really need to happen. And then when we get them, they don't sound good. It's annoying. The Alice Coltrane is a musket. Yeah, it's a beautiful record, a perfect prescription. Absolutely. Want to grab that Freddie Hubbard, but people tell me Verve on Request sounds terrible. You know, I probably haven't listened to mine super analytically. You know, I've just tried to enjoy the music, and I think, you know, the Alice Coltrane sounded fine to me. You know, I'd have to give it another spin and really listen carefully. But yeah, it's probably a hit or miss thing. Vinyl and Kicks, 2 titles just got mentioned for release by Verb by Request. Pharaoh Sanders, Loving Us All. I want to talk about that. And then Benny Mop and Slow Traffic to the Right. Both titles have been mentioned on this channel before. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Vinyl and Kicks. Yeah, the Sanders, Loving Us All. He's talking about this one right here, which is another one that jazz lovers have been champing at the bit for, right? This is one like we need these Pharaoh Sanders back in print, man. This is over $100 now. In fact, the last time I checked, these are going to be more in the $200-300 range. Sorry, I'm having a heck of a time. Just there we go. This is the record, Pharaoh Sanders, Loving Us All. And this did get a reissue recently overseas. I don't remember who issued it. It might have been an Italian company or something. So that's where I got mine. And it sounds good. It sounds good. I can't complain. But yeah, that is another one that needs it. Might as well show this again. This is The Awakening. This is the one that was disappointing to a lot of people. And so now it's like, okay, we got this reissue, but people are already like, well, now we need another one because we need a quality one, you know? Verb by Request is hit or miss. Yeah, says Group Seeker. Some have been trash. Some have been okay. Vinyl Kicks. Yeah, I mean, Discogs is invaluable in a lot of ways. And I know people have their feelings about it, but you know, if you get a big enough sample size, like that Awakening, go check out the Third Man Pressing Awakening. This is the one that came out 2 years ago. There's probably 100 comments on there. It's not going to help you because half people say it's great and half people say it sucks. So not only is it hit or miss, to Group Seeker's point, by title, it could be hit or miss just in the same press. You know, you might get a good one, you might get a bad one, you know, and it's just really annoying. Agree, hit or miss for Verb by Request pressed at TMR. Yep. More miss though. Yeah, in fact, I coined a phrase a couple years ago when I first started on YouTube, and it was basically around this record, and it was snowflake pressing. You know, no two snowflakes are alike. No two pressings of this record, not pressings, but no two are coming off the press the same for some reason. And I even emailed Third Man Pressing and was like, as nice as I could be, just kind of like, hey, what's your guys' quality control? Naively, really, right? I like as if they were going to tell me, what's your guys' quality control? Because a lot of people, I love my copy, and I did a review of the title and everything, but a lot of people got bad pressing, a bad, you know, copy of it. So what's the deal? And they told me, well, we have quality control at all, you know, in all, once we do this, we quality control every step of the way, and you know, the company line. I should have expected it, but something's up. Obviously something is up. I mean, how can one have surface noise across the whole thing, pops and ticks, and the it's not dynamic, and all of these, like, what you would think was a mastering issue, and then I get one that sounds fine, and others too. Others have claimed that it's a great say. I can't explain it. I don't know why one person gets, how you can get that much variation out of the same pressing plant. It's weird. Are we talking about these? I don't know if they all are. They the Verb by Request, like, so let's see. I don't know if they claim, maybe you guys see it. I without reading this whole thing. You would think if it was analog, they would just jump right out. 180 gram Verb by Request monthly release from Verb, label groups jazz catalog, handpicked rarities and fan favorites include out of print titles. It's not front and center, and you think it would be if it was all analog. So Third Man Records. So yeah, I mean, take your chances on those, obviously. Yeah, I don't see it on there. Oh, I'm not even, again, see, I'm failing. Here we go. That's what I was looking at. Al's Coltrane to see if this was all analog, but I don't see it on here. What time is it? 4:34. Blue Note review. So this is cool. And maybe maybe Chris Groove Seeker can chime in on this. I don't know, but now they've got the they've done, I think this is the third one, if I'm not mistaken. And this is Truly Madly Deeply Morgan. Deeply Morgan. Get it? See what they did there? Truly Madly Deep, Lee Morgan. And these are special reissues. These are really cool boxes. Multiple LPs here. Beautifully crafted box containing all elements of Blue Note Review. This one's got some cool stuff. From the Vault, Sonic Boom, Lee Morgan, Sweet Honey Bee, Hey Chico. The Jam at the Gate of Horn, Chicago, Illinois, 1959, question mark. In fact, here, why don't we watch this? It's beautiful. I mean, look at that thing. Looks like session photos. Oh, that's right. Another LP of modern bands performing Lee Morgan music too. Oh, that's cool. Lithographs. I mean, that looks pretty fun. I don't have any of these. I don't know, Group Seeker, do you have any of these if you're still there? This is gonna, what is the pricing on this? Did I skip it? $225. So obviously a premium product right there. But I mean, look, I think if they're gonna ask you to spend more money, then give us a lot of extras. And in this case, they are. You know, I have a hard time spending on $225 when they're like, you know, it's a AAA press. You basically get a facsimile of the original. You know, I mean, unless that record is extremely hard to find, you know, for an affordable price, I'm a little, you know, I'm hesitant to spend the money. But in this case, you know, they're giving you all these extra records, including 7-inch. You've got some modern bands playing the music. You've got a live show. You've got lithograph. This is the way to do it, in my opinion. You know, give people some value. So these are pretty cool. And that is the latest Blue Note Review, Volume 3, Truly Madly Deeply Morgan. So is this on anyone's radar? Anybody purchased this or going to? The Alice is digital, says Tublandia. Well, there you go. Josh Norris rule. If they're not shouting from the rooftops it's AAA, then it's digital. I would agree 100%. That's the quote of the night right there. Nenix 111. I love Lee Morgan, but I felt that I overpaid for that box. Okay, so you got it. So a little bit of buyer's remorse sounds like. Nice packaging, but at $225, it's going to be a pass for me. Yeah, says Vinyl and Kicks. Volume 3 needs to be more like Volume 2, says Ninix 111. Well, can we see Volume 2? Let's see if I can easily navigate. I just see Volume 3 on here. Let's see. Okay. Art Blakey. African. Ooh, wait a minute. Bobby Hutcherson patterns in there? How'd they sneak that in there? That's interesting. Oh, they did the card. That's right. They did these like trading card things too. Okay. That's cool. Anyone so you have Volume 2 then? Ninix? That's interesting. So they're saying they increased production to 2,000 sets. I didn't see how many Volume 3s are going out. But you got a Bobby Hutcherson pattern sitting there. I mean, that's almost worth the price of admission right there. I wish there was more photos. Yeah, that's cool. Spirit in Time, second edition of our vinyl box set subscription series. One again was curated by Blue Note President Don Was. Beautifully encapsulates the continuum of the legendary jazz label Story Pass, etc., etc. Okay. Yeah, that looks nice. That's cool. You got some you know, accessories here for your turntable. Little booklet. These come in a nice box. I gotta say, the presentation is nice. Obviously, I'm not gonna spend $225 for presentation alone, but yeah, some nice stuff. Tired of all those premium prices, said Vinyl and Kicks. Yeah, you know what? I talk about it a little bit because we're talking about Blue Note today, but I will not be a buyer. Not a problem with the product, anything like that, but it's just, you know, it's a little bit out of my price range. And it can become a major rabbit hole to go down, right? I'm not going to mention any names, but you know, I know it's like it's easy to keep on going, right? You get the first one, then you got to get the second one and the third one, and you know, before you know it, you know, same with a lot of the other products, UHQR and MoFi, and next thing you know, you got a lot of nice, you know, spines facing out on your shelf, but you know, and I say that half tongue in cheek, right? I mean, like a lot of people love these things and are going to listen to them and all that stuff. So no hate, no hate, just a little pricey for me. Tubelandia Volume 1 got sucked up during the pandemic. Last I checked, it was crazy. Well, why not? Let's look at that one too. And then I think we'll jump into this would you rather game here. By the way, having a second screen is a good idea just because you want to be kind of playing the game on one screen while you're watching the stream and the other, kind of go back and forth. It can be difficult if you're just on your phone. But there are leaderboards and stuff, so it's really fun. If you haven't been here for one of the games, they're fun. They're fun. This isn't a lot of questions. This is probably, I didn't have a ton of time, so there's about 6 questions in there, but still cool. All right, let's check for volume 1. Well, let's see. Let's check out the Blue Note. So, okay, so Vera, Peace, Love, and Fishing. Yeah, so 3 available, starting at 528 by the time you know, work in shipping. Wow. Yeah, that's volume 1. Pricey. Pricey. Blue Mitchell, Step Lightly. Is that the only thing? So it's that and then Peace, Love, and Fishing, which I guess is a comp. Charles Lloyd, Lonnie Smith, Blue Note All Stars. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't, because this is so out of my price range. That's probably why it was never on my radar before. But yeah, that's pricey. Those pandemic prices, folks. Pandemic prices. All right, let me get you guys the link, and then we'll jump into this game pretty soon. And we're gonna take you right up to the top of the hour when we'll pass you off. We'll hand you off to the Jazz Bums. Here is the link. Yeah, there you go, Tubelandia. There you go. With the exception of UHQRs, I'm doing my best to avoid boxes. Tubelandia knows. Volume 1, yeah. Yeah, I know Chris. I think Chris, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think he's here anymore, but I think he's a big UHQR collector as well. I mean, they're beautiful, you know? I mean, by all accounts, the quality is top notch. So at least you're getting your money's worth. All right, I'm gonna start to get this game going here. We could talk about each of these as we go along too. So I'll paste the link one more time. Click on this link, guys, if you're interested in getting on this game. It's fun. It's fun. If Felipe was here, Felipe is getting ready for a show, I'm sure. But man, he's tough. Last night we did another stream on Surface Noise B-side, and Felipe was right up there. So, all right, I see you guys are jumping in on this. AA, what's up, AA? I keep looking at the Miles Davis kind of blue UHQR under 150 brand new. Yeah, I know. That's one where I'm sort of like, you know, would I drop that dime? Because I mean, you know, I would for certain titles. I would for certain titles. So there's that link, guys. Jump in. I'll give you guys a couple minutes to get ready for that. Yeah, I did. I apologize. I didn't have a ton planned. I just figured I'd go through some of these Blue Note things that are kind of top of mind on the calendar this week. But just do an hour before the Jazz Bums on Fridays, kind of wrap up the week. It was kind of a crazy week this week. I did Surface Noise last night. I actually contributed to an interview today for a couple hours. So yeah, I kind of a little wiped out, if I'm being honest. We're doing this daily. Third week in the books, though. Third week in the books. So a little bit of I'm going to take a victory lap for that. All right, let's start out. We got a few players in here. You guys can keep joining. Yeah, the UHQRs are nice, but I'm a broke boy, so I can't afford them. Yeah, well, that's I feel you there. Driving home, cannot join the game. Oh, Cesar. All right, all good, all good. Okay, let me hit start, and then I'll share. Well, let me share the screen, and then we'll hit start. All right, there we go. Yeah, again, try to have a second screen if you can, so you're not doing a bunch of back and forth. I mean, I guess it works. You can do that. And then, oh, by the way, I should tell you guys, if you haven't played before, there's two ways the scoring works because there is a leaderboard. And it's you got to answer quickly. The quicker you answer, the more points you get. But also, you got to be on the majority side of the vote. So if you vote quick, but you end up on the you're the only person that voted a certain way and everyone else went the other way, you're not going to get as many points. So vote and vote with the majority, I guess. I hate to say it that way, but don't be an individual here. But that's the two ways to get points is by doing that and then voting quickly. So here we go. Let me share the link one more time for those that are just jumping in here. We're playing a little game of Would You Rather Blue Note Edition. Here we go. Would you rather reissue the Music Matters series on Tone Poet or the Blue Note end the Tone Poet series and begin a 45 RPM reissue series? So this kind of goes back to that Music Matters question. We showed them earlier, the 45 RPMs. They are trickling those into the classic series and the Tone Poet series, which is nice. But would you rather see them, rather than see all those Music Matters go out of print, would you rather just have them, and even if they had to get rid of the Tone Poet series, just issue all that Tone Poet stuff as 45 RPM? So I guess that's the question here. Would you want to see the stuff come out as a 33 affordable product, or would you like the Music Matters product to come back? And usually this will end on its own if everybody votes. I'll give you a couple more seconds. Oh, one thing I didn't mention. Everybody wants to see the Music Matters on Tone Poet. I like it. Slowly we get those. Very slowly. Okay. Shane, Tublandia, AA, and Kicks. There's the leaderboard, guys. All right. Would you rather Tone Poet do away with the gatefolds? Controversy in the VC, or Tone Poet continue with the gatefold jacket? Pretty straightforward question. I've made the argument against the gatefolds because I know a lot of people have a problem with shelf space and they're like, man, I don't need these gatefolds. It also takes you out. They don't feel as OG. It's not, yeah, I get it. It's a premium kind of thing. They do show us the session photos and stuff like that in there, but I'm of the mind, give me an insert with the session photos and I'm good, or give me a lithograph like they're doing on some of these other products and just get rid of that. That's just me. Everybody likes the gatefold. Okay, I'm just gonna slink back into the corner now. Shane Tublandia Kicks, AA. Guys, if you're just joining, jump in on this. It's always fun when there's more people, but I get it. We're here on a Friday. I'm just doing an hour show. There's the link. Tone Poet gatefolds and single jackets are the same price. Why is that? Would you rather original jazz classics spin up a 45 RPM series like Music Matters? So this would be the OJC question, or that Verve by Request does a 45 RPM series. And of course, I think judging by some of the comments earlier, they would have to work on their QC issues first. And then we get some of those Verve and Impulse records in 45 RPM. So it's either the OJCs spin up a 45 RPM series, which the OJCs, obviously, we're talking about prestige, new jazz, fantasy labels. And there we go. 3 would rather see OJC to 1 is verb by request. There we go. Shane with a nice little lead. Tublandia, AA, and Kicks. All right. Would you rather have the entire Miles Davis catalog on 45 RPM or the entire John Coltrane catalog on 45 RPM? This one's hard for me, man. This one's hard. Can I just pick the titles? There it is. 50-50. 50-50. I mean, man, if I could just pick the title. Okay, first of all, give me all the Coltrane Atlantic. And then give me, I don't want to, maybe just give me all the Miles Columbia, and then we're done. All right, next up. There's only 6 questions. Here comes question, round number 5 here. Shane, Tublandia, AA, and Kicks. There's your leaderboard, guys. We need more later cosmic stuff for Coltrane, in my opinion, says Tublandia. I'm not going to argue. Would you rather own the complete Music Matters run, which I showed earlier? High end, 45 RPM. They also do a 35 RPM series. Or own the complete Tone Poet? Yes, most people would love to have those Music Matters. Me included. They sound good. Music Matters is Final and Kicks. You got it. All right, last one. Here we go. I think this is the last one. Shane, Vinyl, Tublandia, A, and Kicks. Yes, last round. Here we go. Would you rather merge the Classic series and the Tone Poet series and have them all be in gatefold? Or would you rather merge the Classic series and Tone Poet series without gatefold? Wow, this is boring. Sorry about that. I was trying to fit in a 6th question here, I think. Everybody wants the gatefolds. We already know. That's redundant. Okay. Well, let's look at the leaderboard anyway. How do we do today? Usually there's like 20 questions, guys. So, again, I'm sorry. I was pressed for time today. Shane Vinyl taking gold by a long shot with 1,000, cracking 1,000 today. Tublandia, respectively, 681. AA and Kicks right there with 339, 302. Very nice. Very nice. Thanks for playing, you guys. Yeah, I know. I wish I had more. Like I said, I was just extremely squeezed for time today, but I still wanted to do something there. So one other thing that I kind of skipped over that came along in the email is that the Blue Note email, which is kind of what I'm riffing on here, is this record called Arboresque by a band called Artemis. Let me throw it up here. Felipe of the Jazz Bums, he is a contemporary jazz guy. In fact, he's always sending me stuff. You got to check out this new band. You got to check out this new record. And there is some really, in fact, I have a playlist on Spotify. Maybe I'll share it of vinyl records that have come out by new, artists in the last 5 years. And there is some really, really good stuff there. And I thought, let's see if we can get away with playing a little bit of this, because I was playing it earlier just to see if this is maybe worth picking up. And well, I won't spoil it. I'll see what you guys think here. Let me throw it up on here so you guys know what I'm talking about, and then we'll play a little bit of it. If I can find it here. Where are you? That's weird. I'm trying to find the right screen to share. It's not picking up. Let's try something else. Do it this way. So yeah, I'm going to show a new record, Blue Note, put out by Blue Note, by a contemporary band. The band is called Artemis. The album is called Arboresque. I think that's how you say it. I'm trying to bring it up here for you guys. There we go. So there it is. Artemis, I guess, this is a band with Ingrid Jensen, Renee Rosnes, Nicole Glover, Noriko Ueda. Sorry if I'm messing all these up. And then Allison Miller. Let me sample it for you, man. I was again, I don't want to spoil it. Let me just sample this. Oops, let me start it over. I can dig it. I can dig it. All right, I don't want to get in trouble, but that's track 1. What do you guys think, man? I think that's pretty nice. Let's see. Artemis, Arboresque, now available on the Blue Note website. Again, no one's paying me anything for this. I just, I thought this would be cool to pass on. I really like that first track. Here's your slow jam. Nice brushes on those drums. $30 for the LP. Again, they're not Blue Note. Reach out to me. I'm looking for sponsors. Shane Vinyl Records. We'll see you next week, my friend. Love it, says Ninix. Not bad at all, but plenty of other stuff that it sounds like that I read or listened to. Still really solid though. Yeah, that's the problem, Vinyl Kicks. So a lot of, if you already have these records 10 times over, so to speak. I am really liking this though. I'll be honest. I don't know how many of these are covers, or I don't have a list of like credits or anything. But yeah, fun stuff. This is the last one. There's 8 tunes on here. Little Cranberry right here. I'm feeling this first track though. The Smile of the Snake. Yeah, I like that. That's the stuff, says AA. So let that play out in the background as we get ready to transfer you over to the Jazz Bums here any second. Don't worry, don't go anywhere. We're gonna hit the button and we'll take you back through the magic of YouTube. We'll get you right over there. AA did ask, what are the jazz series to know about other than Music Matters and Tone Poets? I mean, the classic series are great. A lot of people, are gonna chase those blue notes, and they're the ones that have kind of been, doing their thing most consistently. The original Jazz Classic series, which I think is put out by Kraft, is a series that was around in the 80s and the 90s that did a lot of the Prestige label, which is also the New Jazz label, Fantasy label, and others. And they're back in business. They started up a couple years ago, and so they're reissuing those records. And those are great, man. I mean, they did both. Coltrane and Miles were on that label. Eric Dolphy was on that label. So lots of great stuff there. There's a bunch. I mean, we talked about the what was it? Acoustic Sounds putting out some jazz record, Verb by Request. So Verb by Request also does Impulse. So a lot of the Impulse and Verb stuff is going to be put out by them. So a nice little cross section. I talked last week about some new reissues that are coming out. So there's more obscure stuff that is now going to get repressed. Record Store Days, I think, is going to be the start of the man. Now I'm going to be faded and forget what series it is. They're doing 4 titles. The Jazz Bums did an interview with Michael Fremer, and he talks about it. Now I can't remember what the label's called, but for the most part, and for people that are just kind of getting into jazz or want those big titles that everyone knows about, it's pretty well covered between Blue Note, OJC, Verb by Request. I mean, it's going to be hundreds of titles, but there's a bunch, just depending on what you like. Artemis Arboresque. I'll check it out. Vinyl and Kicks. Not bad. Not bad. All right, you guys. Well, I hope you had some fun today. I'm sorry. I do feel like I phoned it in. I didn't mean to. I was so busy this week. So next week, we'll hit you again. So come back Monday. We're here every day, 8 p.m. Monday through Thursday, 6 p.m. Fridays. Monday, I'll remind you, is Your Brain on Vinyl. That's me and Chris. Tuesday is going to be... in fact, I'm talking to Arnaldo next week. I do an interview series on Tuesday. So we're talking to Arnaldo. And on Wednesday, I will be back for Turntable Tales with Brandon, Mr. Hall of Fame. Next Thursday is the A-side. That's my one day off. Thank God. And then Friday, I'll be back again with some more jazz. I appreciate you guys. Once I hit end stream, don't worry. If you guys are interested, you'll be going straight to the Jazz Bums. We'll catch you there. AA, thank you. Vinyl and Kicks. Thank you. Everybody was here. Ninix, thank you. Don't be a stranger. Shane Vinyl Records, thank you. Appreciate you. To Blandia, thank you. Cesar, listening from the car, thank you. And my guy, of course, the Groove Seeker. Thank you so much for being here. I'll catch you guys next week. Have a great weekend.